From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Good Wednesday morning. Right now you're taking a live look at Pasco. This view coming courtesy of the Dust Devils, and you can see those low-lying clouds, a little bit of fog starting to form once again for the basin and for the foothills. Ground zero for the freezing fog right now in Walla Walla, in the Walla Walla Valley. So it is freezing fog there this morning. As we'll take a look at temperatures here in just a second, but you have that combination of air temperatures that are below 32 degrees mixed in with the moisture, and you could see a little deposit of ice on some of these roadways out here, especially on US Highway 12. Another good reason to take it slow out there for this morning. But across the board, temperatures either at or below freezing. So all of us probably need to break out the ice scraper for this morning. And all of us certainly need to bundle up as you're headed out the front door. So here's the bottom line for the forecast. More basin and foothill gloom for today at least, but the winds are going to pick up for tomorrow, so that might put a temporary into that. And the winds are going to pick up in association with the storm system. That could bring us some small mountain snow chances on a Thursday and Friday. And then in the wake of that, into the beginning of next week, we could have our coldest air of the season thus far. I'll tell you just how cold we could turn coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
Straight ahead on Good Morning Northwest, Yakima County Coroner Jim Curtis is facing multiple charges, and now we're learning the county itself is facing 2 lawsuits. What exactly for is just ahead. But first, a gun found on the grounds of Kennewick High School, this after a concerned parent contacted law enforcement. We have the details. And the Benton County Election Center no longer needs to rent a space as they finally have their own building. But why staff members emphasize safety in the new building? It's all on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest on your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal. It is Wednesday, January 15th. We're going to start off your top stories with crime news. Police officers find a gun in a Kennewick High School student's car after reports from a concerned parent. Now, it's important to note that there were no threats made and there was no indication the student was going to use it. According to Kennewick Police, on Monday afternoon, a parent reported they were concerned a student may have a gun in their car. The parent said their child told them they had been with the friend off school grounds over winter break when the friend jokingly pointed the gun at them. The parents deduced that if the gun was in that student's car, they may be taking it to school with them. Police immediately investigated and found the gun Tuesday morning in the student's car on school grounds.
It's important for parents and students to understand that we will take every single investigation seriously as it relates to both threats to schools or to weapons on schools. And it's important that parents take time and talk to their kids about the real consequences that could come from making the choice to bring a weapon on school grounds. And that includes arrest.
Although there was no indication the gun was going to be used, KPD says the student is not allowed to have a gun at 18 years old. Also, it is unlawful to have it on school grounds. The student was booked into the Benton County Jail on a felony hold. And in more crime news, the Walla Walla County Sheriff's Office is looking for a suspect wanted for a child rape case in Burbank. Authorities say Raymundo Oliveira Perez is wanted for rape of a child in the first degree and child molestation in the first degree. He has reportedly changed his appearance and may no longer have facial hair. Anybody with information is to call the Walla Walla County Sheriff's Office. And we're learning 2 corrections deputies are on administrative leave after the death of a man at the Grant County Jail. Authorities say 31-year-old Richard Lambert of Moses Lake died while in custody on December 31st, just 4 days after arriving at the jail. The cause of death has not been released, and the Sheriff's Office says the coroner is still waiting on test results. Corrections deputies say when they went to check on him, he was unconscious and was not breathing. The corrections deputies were put on leave on January 2nd, and GCSO is stressing that paid administrative leave is often used to protect the integrity of the investigation and that it's not an indication of wrongdoing. And the Benton County Sheriff's Office is investigating a malicious mischief report that occurred off East Kennedy Road, just west of West Richland. Now, according to deputies, suspects trespassed on a part of a vineyard where construction equipment is stored and also vandalized several pieces of heavy machinery. Now, if anyone knows anything about this case, call the Benton County Sheriff's Office. Now to continuing coverage on Yakima County Coroner Jim Curtis. He's now charged with official misconduct, tampering with physical evidence, and also making a false or misleading statement to a public servant. The county is also facing 2 lawsuits claiming they aren't being forthcoming with public records requests involving the coroner. Our Emily Goodell has the details.
The records request filed in connection with an existing lawsuit against the county, which accuses the county, including the coroner, of attempting to cover up the death of an inmate in 2023. According to that lawsuit, Hien Hua was arrested during a mental health crisis and died from a heart attack in the county jail after being beaten by corrections officers. The lawsuit also compares his treatment to Curtis's, whose PTSD mental health crisis landed him in a hospital instead of jail.
Had our client been treated the way he was treated, he'd be alive today.
In Curtis's 2023 case, the county prosecutor declined to charge him with assaulting an officer for kicking a deputy in the leg during the incident.
We wanted to see everyone where police had requested a charge of third-degree assault in 2023, where the prosecutor's office chose not to prosecute.
Some records released, but not Curtis's, prompting attorneys to file a public records lawsuit.
Almost immediately after we filed it and served Yakima County provided the Jim Curtis documents that were definitely responsive to that request.
Then last fall, more news broke about Curtis. In a police report, investigators say Curtis admitted to using drugs at work and falsely reporting it as a poisoning in August, leading to charges filed last week. The law firm's public records request asking for any emails discussing Curtis since September 6th. One email provided from Yakima County Prosecuting Attorney Joe Brusick to Yakima Police includes a screenshot Curtis's wife texted him of a conversation she'd had with Curtis, where he says he doesn't remember what happened.
It appears that he may be saying that he was coerced into confessing that he didn't actually do what he confessed to doing.
The request amended to ask for the other text messages, but after weeks of delays,
we filed suit, then they responded to say there are no other text messages, to which I sent them an email back saying, well, but this email says that there are other text messages, so where are those? And I haven't received anything yet.
A Yakima County Superior Court judge has also ruled that the petition to recall Curtis as coroner can move forward, but Curtis still has a couple of weeks to decide whether or not to file an appeal with the state Supreme Court. Reporting from the Yakima Newsroom, Emily Goodell, Apple Valley News Now.
Thank you, Emily. And we have a statement from Yakima County Prosecuting Attorney Joseph Brusick. He says, quote, I am unable to provide any specific information about these 2 lawsuits currently due to litigation. Yakima County is exceptionally communicative on public disclosure requests. We prioritize transparency and maintain open communication throughout the public records request process. Requesters are always welcome to engage with us at any stage of their inquiry. Yakima County strives to give the greatest assistance possible to all requesters, end quote. Now, the Benton County Election Center officially has their own space as the new center is officially complete. They had previously rented spaces in different locations near Ted Brown Music off of Columbia Park Trail, and they held a ribbon cutting after construction was complete. Benton County bought an old Kennewick fire station next to the Benton County administrative offices and turned it into what Benton County Auditor Brenda Chilton says is a state-of-the-art election center.
We're very, very excited. The partnership with the Board of County Commissioners and the local parties and the media really has been great over the last couple of years as we've moved toward this goal of opening this facility that will help service voters.
Chilton also says, unfortunately, there were some increased violent incidents in the last few years, so everything in this office is designed with safety and efficiency in mind. Up next on Good Morning Northwest, new details are being released on how the LA County wildfires could have started. We go over those in just a few minutes, but first, Josh Colbreth will have your weather forecast. Keep it here. We will be right back.
It's our annual year-end inventory closeout sale at Mattress Depot USA.
This is your best opportunity of the year to save hundreds.
Low prices every day. Mattress Depot USA.
U.S. Cellular has the incredible new iPhone 16 Pro. The first iPhone built for Apple Intelligence. Spread the word.
Apple Intelligence is personal, private, and oh so powerful, you dig?
And the all-new camera control will blow you away!
U.S. Cellular has the amazing new iPhone. Also, Doug ate all the office cake.
Show me the tape.
See the tape tonight at 10!
Right now at U.S. Cellular, get the new iPhone 16 Pro on us. No trade-in needed. U.S. Cellular, built for us.
For 600 different cigars and 125 pipe tobaccos. For every cigar rated 96 and higher by Cigar Aficionado. For 200 accessories including dozens of humidors and fine pipes. It's the educated cigar.
Vance Heating and Air Conditioning has been keeping Yakima Valley homes safe and comfortable since 1986. We promise friendly customer service, highly trained technicians. You'll be happy. Save $50 on any heating repair. We service all makes and models. Don't leave it to chance. Call Vance.
My name's Will Lindsay. I do the dock. I put stuff out in the store too. And I've been here for about 7 years and a half now. And I went over to Pasco, the tall guy, Robert. I got introduced to him and then he gave me the job. I like taking donations and I like talking to people. I like the people come here and yeah, this is a good place to work.
Goodwill. Donate, shop, impact locally.
At Mattress Depot USA, we realize your top priority is to get a quality mattress at a great price.
And it never hurts to do business with someone local.
Low prices every day. Mattress Depot USA.
Shifting Gears is the show you've been craving.
Your daughter was like a legend. You were my idol.
You need a new idol. These two are an entertainingly feisty duo. New Shifting Gears tonight on ABC.
The 3-Degree Guarantee, sponsored by Legends Casino Hotel.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. We have this freezing fog advisory that is in place for Benton County and Franklin County and Walla Walla County. Runs until noon today. So remember, freezing fog can sometimes deposit a thin layer of ice on roadways, so we want you to take it slow on all these roadways that are encompassed by this, but specifically for US Highway 12, which connects Walla Walla and the Tri-Cities. On to temperatures now in Kittitas County, as we're seeing temperatures in the 20s and 30s, all of us below freezing, so you might have to break out the ice scraper there. It would be the same thing in the Yakima Valley. We're up and down the valley. We're in the mid to upper 20s, and then in the lower Columbia Basin, also all of us below freezing, albeit right at freezing for the Tri-Cities, 1 degree below that for Boardman, 26 degrees up towards the Hanford site. And then other than Heppner, we're also all either at or below freezing in the Blue Foothills and in the Blue Mountains. So you would also probably need an ice scraper there. But all of us are going to need to bundle up this morning as you're headed out the front door. And temperature is going to be stuck in the 20s and 30s all throughout the day. Looks like the valley should be mostly sunny for today, but those gray and gloomy conditions will likely prevail in the basin and in the foothills. So for today, highs a few degrees below average for this time of the year. We will warm up into tomorrow as there's a storm system that's going to bring some stronger wind gusts, some little chances for mountain snowfall. So I'll time all that out coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. Now, in your national news this morning, the LA fire risk is higher today, and that's according to the National Weather Service. And this comes after a short reprieve from yesterday. The NWS is re-upping the severity of its red flag warning. Also, CAL FIRE is now ranking the Eaton fire as the most destructive in Southern California history, and the Palisades fire as the second. New analysis of images from satellites and a wildfire camera suggests the Palisades fire might have ignited near the burn scar from a blaze earlier this month. As for the Eaton fire's origin, newly released video of flames near an electrical tower on January 7th might be a clue. Experts say a perfect storm of wind and dryness caused the fires to spread rapidly, and they say no fire department in the world could have done better with those conditions. But newly surfaced video shows firefighters warned city leaders of understaffing just last month. Now to more national news, President-elect Donald Trump says he's planning to create an external revenue service. In a post on Truth Social, Trump announced that the new federal agency will collect tariffs and other revenues from foreign nations. He said the ERS will be formed on Monday, which is Inauguration Day, and Trump has promised massive hikes in tariffs on goods coming from Mexico, Canada, and China starting on the first day of his administration. Some believe the policy could sharply increase costs for American businesses and consumers. Up next on Good Morning Northwest, the city of Prosser has a new Boys and Girls Clubhouse, and there's one feature that has kids unable to resist. We have that story and your full weather forecast after the break.
Hit by a big truck in bad weather? There's a law that says truck drivers have a legal duty to use extreme caution when driving in hazardous conditions. Hit by a big truck? I'm attorney Mariana Morales, the big truck heavy hitter.
Call 853-2222.
Hey Raptors, we want to rent these 2 chairs for the winter. We're kind of out on being cold this year.
Glad you dig it here, but this really isn't a vacation rental sort of place.
We hear ya, but what if we put on Raptor suits and then suddenly there are 4 of us? Yeah, we'll be your nieces, Layla and Kinley. I'm Kinley, the Raptor, and I love burgers.
I love it!
Triple Play has fun attractions for everyone, including bowling, a ropes course, and many more, all attached to a cozy hotel.
Not so sure we're gonna pull this off.
Swing into Fred's Appliance for our New Year New Kitchen Super Sale and discover unbeatable deals on the largest selection of in-stock, get-it-today inventory in our region.
Make cleanup a breeze with a brand new model Bosch dishwasher, limited to stock on hand, only $449. Save over 40%.
Quiet operation, advanced water efficiency, and a variety of cycle options.
Fred's, it's appliances, only appliances.
At Fred's, we sell appliances, only appliances.
For the greatest selection at the lowest prices, come to Cost Less Carpet.
As a general contractor, I bring my clients to Cost Less Carpet so they can see every option.
Everything I need is always in stock.
If it's trendy or new, I'm sure you'll find it here.
And their team of designers are so fun to work with.
It really is worth the experience.
I can find everything for my home or my client's home, no problem.
Shopping here is an awesome experience.
Cost Less Carpet, where inspiration and ideas happen.
Smoke City for Less is your one-stop shop in Kennewick, Richland, West Richland, Hermiston, Road 68 in Pasco, and at the new location on West Court Street in Pasco. Open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. at all 6 locations. Get the lowest prices on the largest selection of vape mods, classic to tropical vape flavors, batteries, cigars, tobacco products, kratom, and specialty products too. Don't waste time in other places. Go to Smoke City for Less. We smoke the competition.
Hit by a big truck in bad weather? There's a law that says truck drivers have a legal duty to use extreme caution when driving in hazardous conditions. Hit by a big truck? I'm attorney Mariana Morales, the big truck heavy hitter.
Call 853-2222.
Judy Justice.
And I'm just getting started.
Today at 4 on Apple Valley News Now.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbert.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Today is going to be another cold day. It's going to be another gray day for the basin and for the foothills. Should be mostly sunny for the valleys and for the mountains, specifically for the blues. The Cascades might be socked in with some more fog and winds gusting out of the south upwards of 20 miles per hour for the blues, which is what's likely going to keep that mountain range free of a lot of those low-lying clouds and fog. And then for tonight, once again, we're expecting some more, at least the potential for more freezing fog in the foothills, also in the basin, but we should be void of that in the valleys and in the mountains. And then our weather does turn a little bit more interesting into tomorrow. So here are the precip chances for tomorrow. As you can see, it should be a dry day for lower elevations in the blues. However, bouts of freezing rain and snow are possible throughout the day in the Cascades. That being said, those chances are fairly small. I think one of the bigger impacts for tomorrow is going to be the winds, as they could gust between 25 to 40 miles per hour. Some of the fastest wind gusts being in the Kittitas Valley. That peak time frame would be from 7 in the morning till 4 p.m. in the afternoon. We're not expecting any downed tree limbs or spotty power outages. It could be some slightly difficult travel for high-profile vehicles, but these winds going to do us a big favor by clearing out a lot of those low-lying clouds and fog. And then we'll take you into Thursday night, as small snow chances will spread into the blues between 4 to 7 p.m. and will continue for the Cascades as well. A sprinkle or two could make it down into the blue foothills by the overnight hours, and we can't even rule out a brief time frame for freezing rain into Friday morning. But that is, again, all those chances fairly small. In general, over the next 7 days, it's going to be a pretty dry forecast, and highs going up into Thursday. The uptick in winds and moisture are going to help warm us up a bit. But look at this. Getting very cold into the beginning of next week. We could struggle to make it above freezing in the Tri-Cities for Monday and Tuesday. And the timeline has shifted a little bit in terms of the coldest of the cold, low temperatures from this upcoming cold snap. It's going to be the mornings of Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week, down to around 5 degrees in the blues, 10 degrees in the Cascades, down to around 15 degrees in the Valleys Basin and foothills. Here is the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. A bit colder again by Friday, then the much colder weather looms for the beginning of next week. In Yakima, Friday looks like a colder and sunny day for now, but peep the lows sliding down into the teens by Monday morning. In Ellensburg, we'll have a hard time making it to 40 on Friday, a hard time making it above freezing for Saturday and Sunday, and then maybe stuck in the 20s for Monday. In Hermiston, turning colder again for the end of the work week, but that'll actually feel pretty warm compared to the beginning of next week. And then for Walla Walla, mid-30s on a Friday and Saturday, and the highs will hover right around that freezing threshold for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday.
Check this out. So the City of Prosser's Boys and Girls Club is enjoying their new clubhouse. Apple Valley News Now's Monique Ledesma says there's one new feature that the new clubhouse has that kids cannot resist the urge to use.
It's been a long time coming. We've had some wonderful people in our community who have seen what we were doing, and they decided that we needed a bigger building.
Chris Cisneros is the branch director of the Boys and Girls Club Prosser Clubhouse. Cisneros says one of the many things the new clubhouse provides is unity, as with the extra space, now the elementary, middle school, and high school club members are under one roof.
We now have a tech lab, which we've never had before, a dedicated steam room, but we also offer a full kitchen now. So before we were just serving a pre-portioned snack every day, but now because of the kitchen, we're able to serve a full meal dinner to each kid here that's here at 5 o'clock every evening.
One new popular feature the clubhouse offers is their indoor basketball court. A few kids say this new addition doesn't just help them get a couple more reps in.
Good for all the kids that want to play basketball that couldn't have the chance to play basketball.
Play with someone and you could teach them if they don't know how to play basketball and stuff.
The clubhouse members also say the new resources added helps them beyond the days as a member of the Boys and Girls Club.
It can help us with college opportunities, and it can help us lead us where we want to go.
Cisneros says, as of right now, the clubhouse is in its soft open phase, and come February, they will look to add about 50 to 70 more kids. Cisneros also says they're still taking applications, and to apply, youths don't have to be from Prosser. They also welcome in Grandview and Sunnyside youths. Reporting in Prosser, Monique Ledesma, Apple Valley News Now.
Thank you, Monique. And coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, your kids' favorite TV show is coming to Netflix. We have which show it is and when it's debuting. That's coming up in your entertainment news right after the break.
Building your own American Family Insurance roof line?
Yeah, life's better when you're protected under American Family's roof.
That's not how it works. See, that's how it works.
Save up to 23% by bundling your home and auto with us.
U.S. Cellular has the incredible new iPhone 16 Pro.
The first iPhone built for Apple Intelligence.
Spread the word.
Apple Intelligence is personal, private, and oh so powerful, you dig?
And the all-new camera control will blow you away.
U.S. Cellular has the amazing new iPhone. Also, Doug ate all the office cake.
Show me the tape.
See the tape tonight at 10.
Right now at U.S. Cellular, get the new iPhone 16 Pro on us. No trade-in needed. U.S. Cellular, built for us.
For 600 different cigars and 125 pipe tobaccos.
for every cigar rated 96 and higher by Cigar Aficionado. For 200 accessories, including dozens of humidors and fine pipes, it's the educated cigar.
Lather, rinse, repeat. It never feels like enough. It's not your products, it's your water. Culligan water softeners prevent damaging hard water buildup, revitalizing your hair and skin. Upgrade your routine with Culligan.
I'm a real wild one. Once in a while, we all want to go wild. We just need a little help. Meet a little help. The 2024 Ford Bronco Sport Wild Edition goes over any terrain, so you can go all out. Get a wild deal on a Bronco Sport today. Lease a 24 Bronco Sport 4x4 Wild Edition for just $299 a month for 36 months, only at your local Ford dealer.
Hit by a big truck in bad weather? There's a law that says truck drivers have a legal duty to use extreme caution when driving in hazardous conditions. Knowing these laws sets my truck wreck team apart. I'm attorney Mariano Morales, the big truck heavy hitter. Big truck insurance companies know that we have the knowledge and experience to get you paid everything you deserve. Hit by a big truck? Our team knows truck wrecks and how to win for you. I'm attorney Mariano Morales, the big truck heavy hitter.
The heavy hitter is the one for you. Call 853-2222.
So, go deep. Feel protected under our roof, so your family's free to pursue their dreams. Bundle life and save up to 25% on home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
The Kraken's in Winnipeg to battle the Jets Thursday at 4:30. Apple Valley News Now.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. In entertainment news, popular YouTuber and kids educator Rachel Accurso is coming to Netflix.
4 episodes of Miss Rachel, ranging from 30 to 60 minutes, will debut on Netflix on January 27th. It's a curated compilation of her social media videos that aim to reach children in their early learning years.
And they will be available in English with subtitles in more than 30 languages. And more episodes will launch later in the year.
Accurso was one of the top earning online creators last year. Forbes estimates she earned nearly $12 million last year from her videos, as well as toys and books.
Now, going from TV shows to music, Beyonce fans will have to show a little bit of patience.
The superstar entertainer postponed her announcement that was scheduled for yesterday due to the Los Angeles wildfires. In her Instagram statement, Beyonce praised the first responders who are fighting the flames.
And the wildfires erupted a week ago and have been bolstered by strong winds and dry conditions. Authorities say at least 24 people have died and thousands of structures have been destroyed.
Beyonce said her Bay Good Foundation has donated $2.5 million to help those affected by the wildfires. No word on when Beyonce's postponed announcement will be made.
I wonder what it'll be. Maybe new music, maybe a different genre, or maybe more country. Who knows?
Hey, fingers crossed for more country.
I'm hoping so too.
Yep.
And coming up next on Good Morning Northwest at 5:30, we told you yesterday about the rumors swirling around local fire units fighting the wildfires in California, and now CAL FIRE is confirming that the rumors are not true.
We have the details in the next half hour, but first, here are your Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, OpenAI is testing a new feature that may compete with Alexa and Siri. It's called Tasks, and it will enable ChatGPT to function somewhat like a virtual assistant, allowing users to schedule tasks and set recurring or one-time reminders. And DirecTV has a new sports-only streaming service, MySports. It includes offerings from our parent company Disney's ESPN and other networks. The cost is $70 per month. It's available in 24 metro areas, including New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, and Philly. And finally, Motorola is touting the toughness of its newest phones. It says the Moto G and Moto G Power are waterproof and can survive falls from 4 feet and temperatures from -4 to 140 degrees. The phones will be available at the end of this month, starting at about $200. Those are your Tech Bites. I'm Rhiannon Alley. Have a great day.
Dangerous ladders, gutter muck? Ugh, no wonder you hate cleaning your gutters. Good thing there's Leaf Filter. Our patented filter technology keeps leaves and debris out of your gutters forever. Guaranteed. Call 833-LEAF-FILTER to get started and get the permanent gutter solution that ends clogs for good.
They took the time to answer all of our questions. They really put us at ease.
End clogged gutters for good. Call 833-LEAF-FILTER or visit leaffilter.com today.
Travel can make you smell kind of funky, but aluminum-free Secret Whole Body Deodorant gives me 72-hour whole body freshness.
For long layovers, surprise gate changes, and heavy luggage.
And it's totally middle seat approved. Secret, no sweat.
At TJ Maxx, you can afford to turn your closet into a place of endless expression with the quality, styles, and prices you love. Max what makes you, you.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest. On your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Josh Colbert.
All right, Josh, I am sick and tired of this cold, sick and tired of the ice and having to scrape it off my windows every time I walk outside. Although I did start parking under the awning, and now I don't really have to do it when I'm coming into work.
Smart.
I know. I like that. I never used it before, but now I am. So.
Well, you know what Mother Nature has to say about all that?
What?
Too bad, because it's getting even colder.
Too bad, so sad.
Yep, because it's getting even colder at the beginning of next week. But it's heating up. The jackpot is heating up with our 3-degree guarantee contest.
Because you got it right again, didn't you?
Got it right again. Yep. This contest sponsored by our good friends at the Legends Casino and Hotel. So yesterday I went with the forecast high 39 in Pasco, and the actual high verified at 37 degrees within that 3-degree threshold. So that means that the jackpot went up to $425. So the stakes for today are that I went with the forecast high 38 degrees in Pasco. So if the actual high falls between 35 to 41, the jackpot's going to go up to $450. But if my forecast goes bust, that means that the jackpot could be yours. Find out how to win the jackpot by going to applevalleynewsnow.com, click on the contest page, or you could scan the QR code that is currently on your screen. Okay, now on to the fog that is still berating Walla Walla. You can see essentially no visibility there, and it looks like, you know, that is spilling into the basin as well. Just from our Dust Devils camera, we were seeing some reductions in visibility there in Pasco, so we know that this is spilling over into the basin. We have that freezing fog advisory that's in place for the basin and for the Blue Foothills, and that runs until lunchtime for today. All right, on to temperatures now as across the board we're below freezing, down into the 20s for the Blue Foothills, 20s and 30s in the basin, 20s up and down the Kittitas and Yakima valleys. So I'm thinking pretty much all of us are going to have to break out the ice scraper for this morning, and all of us certainly need to bundle up. I'm going with a heavy jacket all throughout the day in the Tri-Cities, as it's just going to be one of those days where the basin and the foothills likely gray and foggy for a lot of the day, but it should be a fairly sunny day up in the valleys. And I'll take you on that zone-by-zone tour of today's gloomy forecast. That's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. In Pasco, a home went up in flames yesterday morning. This happened on the 400 block of South Cedar Avenue, and Pasco police found flames coming from the house just after 2 a.m., and they then called the Pasco Fire Department, and they, along with crews from Franklin County Fire District Number 3, were able to put it out. PFD says although no one was living in the house, it's now unlivable. No one was hurt, and the cause is under investigation. And the Washington Department of Ecology is issuing a $2,600 fine over a fire at Clover Island Yacht Club. Now, back in 2022, a fire destroyed 2 boats and their slips. The Kennewick Fire Department determined that it started in the slip owned by David Michaels. The DOE estimates about 23 gallons of gasoline and lubricant oil spilled into the Columbia River. The state says money owed from penalties may be reduced due to settlement or court rulings. Now to a follow-up on a story that we brought to you yesterday regarding the rumors about our local fire units helping fight the fires in California. We're now hearing confirmation from CAL FIRE that this is indeed misinformation. CAL FIRE says they're committed to safety. They make sure vehicles are ready to go to the front lines, which is why the first stop for units coming out of state is to get a mechanical inspection. They say emissions testing are not a part of this inspection. In fact, California has specific laws that exempts emergency units responding to an incident from California emission standards.
So the first stop for these out-of-state engines is to visit a CAL FIRE mobile equipment facility for a safety and mechanical inspection, like here in Davis, California. Here, mechanics will inspect every inch of that equipment to make sure it's safe to respond to the incident. We check the sidewall, the date range, the depth of the tire, and the pressure. We check fluid levels, belt conditions, and to make sure no extra fluid is leaking.
Officials also say 2 sites are currently being used to make sure that crews have the shortest possible travel to the scenes, as well as the fastest possible response to the front lines. The city of Pasco has an update on their animal shelter. Firstly, they have a new name for it. It'll no longer be called the Tri-Cities Animal Shelter. It will now be known as Tri-Cities Animal Services. According to the city, this name better reflects the mission, which focuses on public safety, transparency, and community education. As for the grand opening, that'll take place on February 4th from 1 to 2:30 p.m. and the public is invited to attend. You'll be able to see the inside of the new building, which will have expanded adoption spaces as well as an upgraded intake area. And Columbia Basin College is trying to help future students with the college application process, as it can be overwhelming. They're launching a new workshop to help, and it's called Next Steps. It's designed to help prospective students navigate the application process, and the first workshop is tonight. And the following workshops will happen every other Wednesday through the end of March. Now, there are 2 time slots, one in the morning and one in the evening, and both are on Zoom. To find that meeting link, visit our website. That's applevalleynewsnow.com. Up next, Washington Governor Jay Inslee gave his final State of the State address yesterday. We have what advice he gave to lawmakers and the recap coming up in just a few minutes.
Early warnings, accurate forecasts.
Apple Valley News Now First Alert Weather.
It's that time again.
It's our annual year-end inventory closeout sale at Mattress Depot USA.
This is your best opportunity of the year to save hundreds on brand name mattress sets.
All remaining models from last year's inventory are on sale.
Here's your chance to get a comfortable, great night's sleep at up to 60% off.
Don't hesitate, or else you'll have to wait another year to take advantage of these incredible savings.
Low prices every day. Mattress Depot USA.
Step into the Prosser House, where great food meets comfortable atmosphere. We invite you to relax in our cozy space. From classic dishes to chef-inspired creations, and now we're raising the bar, literally. With our newly renovated bar, we're serving up crafted cocktails, your favorite local brews, and award-winning wines. Plus, we're proud to announce that the Prosser House is your restaurant showdown champion. Special night out or just a break from cooking, experience the award-winning difference at the Prosser House.
At McCurley Subaru, your way home starts with the adventure-ready 2025 Subaru Forester, with all-new styling from the ground up. Built for life in the Tri-Cities and wherever the road takes you, the Forester is perfect for everything, from quick trips to the farmer's market to weekend escapes into the mountains. Its all-wheel drive and generous ground clearance tackle every twist and turn, while the spacious interior has room for family, friends, and all your gear. Save on a new Subaru Forester today from McCurley Subaru.
Come discover our hand-picked collections at D-Lynn's Boutique. Whether you're shopping for a cozy weekend getaway or a special night out, D-Lynn's Boutique has everything you need to shine this winter. Visit us in-store or online and let us help you wrap the season in style.
Kittitas Valley Healthcare is your trusted home for health, offering expert orthopedic care for your family. With over 55 years of combined experience, our team uses state-of-the-art equipment to improve surgical outcomes and provide compassionate, patient-centered care. We're committed to making your experience comfortable and efficient so you can stay active and healthy. Learn more and schedule a consultation through our website at kvhealthcare.org. Your home for health.
SDCU and Apple Valley News Now honor local volunteers by sharing their stories and donating $1,000 to their favorite charities. To nominate someone who's making a difference in Benton and Franklin counties, click on Volunteers Count under the contest tab at applevalleynewsnow.com.
Tonight, the 39th President of the United States lies in state at the Capitol, celebrating Jimmy Carter, his grand life and legacy. Plus, tracking the extreme weather coast to coast. World News Tonight with David Muir is America's most watched newscast.
Now we're talking. Oh,
I thought I timed it so I wouldn't have to talk to you.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbert.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Let's go ahead and take you on that zone-by-zone tour of today's forecast, starting off in Kittitas County, where highs are going to be mostly below 40 degrees. We're thinking it should be plenty of sunshine in the Kittitas Valley, but more fog that's going to sock in the Cascades and Snoqualmie Pass. Then in the Yakima Valley, also it should be mostly sunny, with highs being in the mid to upper 30s. Then in the lower Columbia Basin, see, this is where we start to introduce some of the gloom into the forecast. Just like with yesterday, I'm thinking it's going to be mostly overcast, and these highs into the mid to upper 30s. And then for the Blue Foothills, really tracking the same thing, as will be in the mid to upper 30s, but it should be much sunnier up in the Blue Mountains proper, and that's, you know, the winds gusting out of the south, gusting upwards of around 20 miles per hour, certainly going to throw the Blues an assist. That's going to clear out a lot of the low-lying clouds and fog. All right, now on to the big picture, the reservoir storage that we're tracking right now in the Yakima Basin. And these are the levels, so 0% would be average levels for this time of the year. And so where you see negatives and where you see reds on this graphic, which is all over the graphic, by the way, that's where we unfortunately have water deficits, big time water deficits for the Bumping Reservoir and for Cle Elum and for Catchis and Keechless and Rimrock. So this is, you know, when I talk about the big picture, it's like, you know, rainfall totals for the season, snowfall totals for the season, but the biggest picture of all is this, because these numbers, we need these numbers to be better. And I'll tell you, if we have any rainfall or snowfall in the forecast to assist these numbers, that's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. Now, Washington Governor Jay Inslee gives his final State of the State address in Olympia yesterday. He spoke about his accomplishments from the past 12 years and also what challenges are still ahead. Albert James has the advice that Inslee gave to lawmakers as they face tough challenges this legislative session.
Thank you. Thank you.
Governor Jay Inslee took a fond look back on his 12 years in office Tuesday.
And in this moment, our moment, I see a state that is evergreen and ever going forward.
Speaking to a joint session of the legislature for the last time as governor, Inslee cited action on climate protections, abortion rights, and education as some hallmark successes of his time in office.
There's more work to do, of course, but these accomplishments, I believe, should give us full confidence for the next steps. We keep moving forward. We pull together, because we are the state of Washington.
Inslee also spoke about the projected $12 billion deficit over the next 4 years. He previously proposed a $2 billion spending reduction and new taxes, telling legislators Tuesday anything deeper could do great harm. His successor, Bob Ferguson, previously spoke of making over $4 billion in spending cuts.
We have a strong economy, so why would we consider cuts to programs like housing or mental and behavioral health services at a time like this?
The outgoing governor also talked about the incoming Trump administration.
Our state will work with anyone on policies that are positive for Washington, but we will not bend the knee to a would-be authoritarian's worst impulses. We will follow the Constitution.
That remark triggered some Republican lawmakers to walk out of the chamber. Inslee closed by asking legislators to keep the same sense of optimism, confidence, and hope as they serve the people.
To Washington, I bid you fair winds and following seas. Thank you.
On Wednesday, Washington will have a new governor for the first time in 12 years. Bob Ferguson will be sworn in as Washington's 24th governor in the morning, followed by a big inaugural ball here at the state capitol later in the evening. In Olympia, I'm Albert James reporting.
And on Governor Inslee's final day in office, he had his official portrait unveiled at the state capitol.
3, 2, 1, art.
It was done by Seattle artist Grace Flott. The portrait features him with Mount Rainier in the background, and Inslee says the mountain's inclusion is meaningful to him because of his work on the climate, along with his hope that snow will be there long into the future. And believe it or not, this was Inslee's first time seeing the completed work, and he was very pleased. The artist says portraits have the power to connect people of different times and backgrounds. The portrait will join other gubernatorial portraits that are on display in the governor's office at the Legislative Building. Up next on Good Morning Northwest, if TikTok doesn't find a new owner by Sunday, the app will be banned in the U.S. And the platform's Chinese parent company has previously said that it wasn't for sale, but now they're reportedly thinking about selling it to someone specific. We have details and more of your top stories coming up in your morning sprint. But first, Josh Colbert will have your full weather forecast.
With a new CR-V from McCurley Honda in Richland, your way home is ready for every Tri-Cities adventure. And yes, it's packed with cup holders. From Costco runs to weekend escapes in the Great Northwest, the Honda CR-V has the space, style, and smarts to handle it all. With available all-wheel drive and impressive fuel efficiency, it's the perfect fit for life here at home. Drive home today in a new Honda CR-V and get 1.9% financing. McCurley Honda, your way home.
Valentine's Day at the Country Mercantile is where passion meets perfection in every handcrafted delight. Our master chocolatiers create gourmet chocolates, chocolate-dipped strawberries, and delicious works of art, each piece a testament to timeless elegance. From balloons, local ciders, and fresh flowers to carefully curated gift baskets, every gift is a masterpiece, designed to speak the language of love. Make this Valentine's Day extraordinary. Explore our collection in store or online at countrymercantile.com.
At Bruce Heating and Air, your comfort is our business. With over 30 years of professional HVAC experience for residential and commercial properties, you can rest assured your heating and air system is in good hands. In addition to providing quality heating, air conditioning, ventilation, and installation services, Bruce Heating and Air also houses a full-service sheet metal fabrication shop.
Now through March 31st, receive rebates up to $1,300 off, plus a free thermostat on a new Daikin Fit system when you finance through Bruce Heating and Air. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Welcome to Fable Craft Bar, your next favorite place to experience. Be inspired by our stylish and locally crafted culinary delights. Join us Tuesdays for all-you-can-eat fish and chips, weekend brunch and football, Bookwalter wines, local beer, and signature cocktails. Savor the flavors of our delicious food to captivate your senses. Fable Craft Bar, stop for a bite, or bring delicious home with Uber Eats or DoorDash. 1705 Columbia Park Trail.
There's still time to save with Bi-Mart's latest 3-week savings book. Dello 15W40 diesel oil is just $12.99. Get MJB coffee for $7.99. Storeware's 5-tier resin shelves are just $29.99. Check out the bonus zone and pick up Old Trapper jerky, Duraflame logs, camping chairs, and more. Don't miss our store-wide winter stock reduction sale and save up to 50% off. Save now through Monday, January 20th only at Bi-Mart.
ET and Extra, tonight at 7 on Apple Valley News Now.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbert.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Today is going to be another gloomy day for the foothills and the basin. Should be mostly sunny for the valleys. The Cascades probably socked in with more fog, and the winds gusting out of the south upwards of 20 miles per hour, likely clearing out a lot of the fog and the low-lying clouds up in the blues. And then for tonight, the wind should calm down for the blues, but well, light winds across the map, overnight lows falling down into the 20s. We'll see the return, unfortunately, at least the potential return of some more freezing fog to the foothills and also into the basin. But the valleys, the mountains should be void of that, but all of us are going to have to protect the outdoor pets, the plants, and the plumbing, as it's just going to be that cold. Now on to precip chances for Thursday, as it should be a dry day for lower elevations in the blues, but bouts of freezing rain and snow are possible throughout the day in the Cascades. That being said, those chances are fairly small. I did want to talk about the winds, as that's probably going to be the biggest aspect of tomorrow's forecast. The peak wind gusts will be between 7 in the morning to 4 p.m. in the afternoon. They could gust between 25 to 40 miles per hour, the fastest wind gusts being in the Kittitas Valley. I think the biggest thing in regards to this, we're not expecting any spotty power outages, downlimbs, anything like that, but the uptick in winds likely helping to clear out those low-lying clouds and fog. and this will be associated with some additional snow chances into Thursday night. We'll have small snow chances that'll also spread into the Blues between 4 to 7 p.m. and will continue for the Cascades as well. A sprinkler or two could make it down to the Blue foothills by the overnight hours, and we can't even rule out a brief time frame for freezing rain into Friday morning. But those are, like you saw, those are pretty small chances. In general, over the next 7 days, it's going to be a pretty dry forecast, and it's going to turn into a very cold forecast by the time we get to the beginning of next week. Look at this. We're going to struggle to make it above freezing in the Tri-Cities, and now it's looking like the coldest mornings of this cold snap are going to be the mornings of Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday morning, down to around 5 degrees in the Blues, down to around 10 degrees in the Cascades. Some of the lowest lows could be around 15 degrees in the valleys, basin, and foothills. Definitely something that's on our radar, something that probably needs to be on your radar as well. Here's a 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. A bit colder again by Friday, then the much colder weather looms for the beginning of next week. In Yakima, Friday looks like a colder and sunny day for now, but keep the lows sliding down into the teens by Monday morning. In Ellensburg, we'll have a hard time making it to 40 on Friday, a hard time making it above freezing for Saturday and Sunday, and then maybe stuck in the 20s for Monday. In Hermiston, turning colder again for the end of the work week, but that'll actually feel pretty warm compared to the beginning of next week. And then in Walla Walla, mid-30s into Friday and Saturday. The highs will hover right around that freezing threshold for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday.
Now, the morning sprint.
Time is now 5:50. It's time for your morning sprint in our 5 o'clock hour. And first up, here are the top 5 local stories that you need to know this morning. The Walla Walla County Sheriff's Office is looking for a suspect in connection to a child rape case from Burbank. Raymundo Oliveira Perez is wanted for rape of a child in the first degree and child molestation in the first degree. Authorities say he has reportedly changed his appearance and may no longer have facial hair. Anybody with information is to call WWCSO. The Bend County Sheriff's Office is looking for suspects who trespassed in a vineyard just off East Kennedy Road. Deputies say they vandalized several pieces of heavy machinery on the property. If you know anything about this, call BCSO. And the Bend County Election Center officially has their own space. Their new center is now complete after turning an old fire station into one of their new buildings, and they had previously rented spaces in different locations, but now their state-of-the-art center is complete. It's located next to the Bend County Administrative Offices, which used to be the old fire station, and according to the staff, they made design choices with safety in mind because they've had increased violent incidents in the last few years. The city of Pasco announces the Tri-Cities Animal Shelter will now have a different name. It'll now be known as Tri-Cities Animal Services. The city says this name better reflects the mission, and they say the grand opening will be on February 4th from 1 to 2:30 p.m. The new facility has expanded adoption spaces and has an upgraded intake area. The public is invited to see it. Columbia Basin College is launching a new workshop to help people with the college application process. It's called Next Steps, and the first workshop is tonight, with following workshops taking place every other Wednesday through the end of March. It will be on Zoom, with one meeting in the morning and the other in the evening. To find the link, visit our website. International headlines this morning: a meeting will be held at the White House today for the Trump transition. They'll go over several topics like government responses to various security threats, and these kinds of meetings are typical between incoming and outgoing administrations. And Senate confirmation hearings continue today as Pam Bondi, Trump's pick for Attorney General, will be facing hers. Also, President Biden is expected to address the nation for the final time tonight at the Oval Office. And a bill to ban transgender athletes from playing in female sports moves on to the Senate, and this is after the House voted to pass it. This would block this group at federally funded schools, but it would not ban schools from letting males practice against women's sports teams. In business news, as TikTok faces a potential ban in the U.S., China's government is considering selling it to billionaire Elon Musk. And that's according to Bloomberg. It reports TikTok officials held preliminary talks about selling to Musk. And TikTok is owned by Chinese company ByteDance, who has previously said it will not sell at all. If not sold, the ban will take effect this Sunday. Buy something or get out is the new policy at Starbucks, and that's according to the Wall Street Journal. Starbucks says it will no longer welcome visitors unless they buy something or they're with someone who's purchasing something. It's a stark reversal of its long-standing policy to allow anyone inside or to use the bathroom, and this is set to take effect on January 27th. And McDonald's is closing 3 locations of its Cosmix just a year after launching the specialty drinks spin-off chain. The fast food giant announced this last week, and the company has opened just 7 total Cosmix since December 2023. McDonald's says despite closing 3 locations, it does plan to build 2 new stores. In your health headlines, the FDA is proposing food items have nutrition information placed on the front of the packaging, specifically information breaking down the salt, added sugar, and saturated fat. Also, whether the food contains low, medium, or high levels of the nutrients. The nutrition label on the back would stay and complement the information on the front of the label, and this is part of a government-wide effort in combating the nation's chronic disease crisis. Also, a new report from the FTC finds that pharmacy benefit managers, which are the companies that serve as middlemen between drug makers, insurers, and pharmacies, marked up the prices of dozens of generic drugs between 2017 to 2022. Some medicines include drugs used to treat heart disease, cancer, and HIV. The country's 3 largest PBMs, CVS Health's Caremark, Cigna's Express Scripts, and United Health Group's Optum Rx, all disputed the report, calling it misleading, and said it did not address the major cost savings that the groups make for their clients. In sports news, the Seattle FIFA World Cup local organizing committee joined with elected leaders from across the state. It was all to announce the locations of 9 fan zones that will take place across Washington during the event. Yakima Mayor Patricia Byers was in attendance, and that's because the city of Yakima is one of those sites selected. She will be announcing where and when the events will happen as we get closer to the event, and the tournament in Seattle will take place in June and July of 2026. Trending this morning, a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket successfully launched early this morning from the Kennedy Space Center.
It's carrying not 1, but 2 lunar landers. The first is called Blue Ghost, which is a 6.6-foot tall ladder that's part of NASA's effort to return humans to the moon.
Ooh, so the second is slightly larger at 7.5 feet tall. It's from Japanese company iSpace, which hopes to send payloads to the moon for paying customers.
The Blue Ghost should reach the moon in 45 days after spending 25 days orbiting Earth and then a couple weeks in a lunar orbit.
There's no time frame for iSpace's lander, but the company estimates that it'll take 4 or 5 months to reach the moon's surface. Would you go to the moon if you could?
No,
yes, for me.
I think it'd be pretty boring.
What? I guess so, yeah. You just kind of,
if you're not studying stuff, like if you're not studying the space rocks.
Yeah, you wouldn't really have much to do. And then, like,
twiddle your thumbs.
Once you look outside and you see everything, you're pretty much done. So.
And then you see Earth from a long distance.
Can I take a quick trip? And then there's the possibility that you could not come back, like, you know, the 2 astronauts that still are out there on the ISS.
I'll put on a nice, like, moon full screen on my Roku.
There we go. Yeah, you know, a landscape video when your TV's stalling.
Yes.
And coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, we'll introduce you to Elio, or Elio, a local doggo that's up for adoption at the Ben Franklin Humane Society. You don't want to miss more information on that cutie, and that's coming up in our 6 o'clock hour.
And we're tracking some freezing fog for this morning. We have a freezing fog advisory. I'll tell you who that's in place for and when, and that'll be coming up at 6.